If you like this video, please click on the like button. Comment with the names of the movies you would like us to cover next. Click the subscribe button and press the bell icon to get notified of our latest creations. We cover 100 movies from around the world every day. To advertise with our channel, reach out to us. Our contact information is on our channel page. Now, let's move to the plot of this movie.
On New Year's Eve in Baltimore, a sniper begins killing random revelers at a variety of rooftop parties. Using firework explosions as cover, beat cop Eleanor Falco is among those who responds, helping move survivors to safety. Police identify the shooter's location as an apartment overlooking the area. Just before it explodes, Eleanor rushes to the exit of the building, where residents are streaming out, and helps capture video of potential suspects leaving the scene. She then follows firemen and members into the building, and despite heavy smoke, climbs the 17 stories to the apartment without a gas mask. SWAT clears the apartment, and determines that no one has died there. Eleanor climbs to the exposed edge and nearly falls to her death as she passes out from smoke inhalation. At the police headquarters, the manhunt commences, led by Special Agent Lamarck of the FBI. After reminding the officers to think careful about who they perceive the shooter to be, Lamarck meets Eleanor in the break room, and is impressed by her perceptiveness. The next morning, Lamarck requests that Eleanor meet him for coffee, where he explains that he wants her, along with fellow officer Jack McKenzie, to work directly with him as liaisons with the Baltimore police during the investigation. They both accept. At the bureau, forensic clues are few. McKenzie explains that the apartment was uninhabited and there is nothing to indicate any of the building staff or residents committed the crime. Lamarck is furious when he must sign off on a demand from the mayor's office that the city will not impose a curfew or travel restrictions during the manhunt. Another agent reveals that the explosion was caused by a grenade paired with a deliberate gas leak, and that the rifle used for the shooting is a U.S. Army weapon, over 40 years old. This leads Eleanor to voice the suspicion that the shooter got the weapon from a stockpile of retired arms. Lamarck, Eleanor and McKenzie travel to the morgue where the victims of the shooting are being kept, and speculate on the shooter's motive. They are interrupted by the news that Baltimore police believe they have the shooter surrounded, and hurry to the scene. Upon arriving, they are presented with very thin evidence that a troubled local youth perpetrated the crime. But before Lamarck can intervene, tactical police enter the youth's apartment, and cause him to jump out the window, killing himself. Lamarck is livid. Returning to the bureau, Lamarck, Eleanor and McKenzie interview 3 painters who painted the empty apartment years prior. Afterwards, Lamarck takes Eleanor home for dinner, where they and his husband Gavin contemplate the killer's motive. Lamarck reveals that he has learned that Eleanor once applied to join the FBI, but failed her psychological evaluation. Eleanor explains that in the past she suffered from various mental health issues and addictions, including self-harm, and joined the police as a means of taking her life back. The next day, the killer commits a mass shooting at a mall. Through security cameras, the team observes the killer and sees him stash a shirt in a bathroom trash can, which is subsequently emptied by cleaning staff. While Lamarck meets with the mayor, Eleanor and McKenzie chase down the shirt at the landfill. Back at the bureau, new forensic clues come to light. Under pressure from the mayor's office, Lamarck engages in a risky strategy of showing security footage from the mall on live TV, and encouraging members of the public to call with information. Someone posing as the killer calls, and police trace the call, and follow the caller and 3 allies to a pharmacy. A shootout ensues, leading to the death of the caller's 3 allies. Interrogation reveals what Eleanor suspected: that he is not the killer, just a prank caller. In the aftermath, Lamarck is relieved of his post for his failure to apprehend the killer, and the collateral damage caused by this most recent strategy. Eleanor goes home, depressed about her role in Lamarck's firing. She contemplates self-harm, but ultimately comes to a realization about the story told by one of the painters. She confronts him, and he reveals that he had subcontracted a man fitting the description of the killer when painting the apartment. The painter reveals that this man once worked for a slaughterhouse in South Maryland, and provides his description. Eleanor and Lamarck travel to said slaughterhouse and interview the killer's former boss, who confirms the killer's name: Dean Posse, the son of a former shooting instructor for the U.S. Rangers. Eleanor and Lamarck visit Mrs. Posse, his mother. She claims to have not seen him in years, but reveals that his father accidentally shot him in the head as a child, leading to a lifetime of social isolation. Dean is revealed to be hiding in the shed out back when he shoots and kills Lamarck. Eleanor convinces Mrs. Posse to reason with Dean, but when he refuses to listen, Mrs. Posse kills herself. Dean enters the house and he and Eleanor discuss how much he hates the noise of society and just wants to be left in peace. He asks Eleanor to kill him after he falls asleep, but before she can, police arrive and he knocks her unconscious. He drags her into a secret tunnel below the shed, and kills the 2 police officers, but not before one of them calls for backup. Backup arrives, led by Mackenzie. Eleanor tries to reason with Dean but he will not listen. He blows up the shed, dazzling the officers. Eleanor continues to plead with him, drawing him close enough for her to bite his neck, seriously wounding him. He escapes out the back. She subsequently escapes and rejoins Mackenzie. The police track Dean to a nearby factory. After a moment's pause, he raises a gun at them and is fatally shot. Later, Eleanor interviews with the mayor and his associates. They buy her silence on the true circumstances of Dean's death in exchange for a position at the FBI and posthumous honors for Lamarck. She walks to work,